Hi guys, and welcome to this masterclass for my Integral Energy Program, which is not only a program developed to build and master your energy, your pranic energies, your Kundalini energies, your tantric energies, your light body energies. It starts with a personal development program, and there's a reason for this. I first developed this course without this section, but I've added this section because it is such an important part of becoming an energy facilitator. A time is coming when many of you will be put to work with spirit to broadcast frequencies and assist others in comprehending what is going on. The waves of awakening will continue and spirit will become a way of being on this planet. This was said in 1992, and it is a very true statement. And yet, now where we are, it is still, although well underway, it's still in its infancy. And the question hopefully you will be asking yourself is, will you be one of these ones doing this work if you're not already? And if you are, will you want to take this course to help you go deeper? So being a spiritual person is all good. Yeah, I get it, great, all love and light. Well, not quite. Because when people go into energy and spiritual work, there's this thing called spiritual ego. And with energy facilitators, this spiritual ego leads facilitators to push their clients. So they move a lot, just like those demo videos we see. It's not about the moving. And what this can actually do by pushing in people's energy too much will push your clients into something called dark night of the soul. Just too much energy. It makes them battle with their egos as well. They can't handle it, and it becomes a very unpleasant experience. So the beginning of this course, of this program, is personal development, so that you can not only enrich your energy and your consciousness practices, but also so you can understand that it's not about ego. It's not about pushing your clients. It's about doing the best you possibly can for your clients. So part one, as I said, is a personal development course for transformation, built not only to transform your life, but to also become a personal development coach for your clients when assisting in energy work. And then part two, this is the big part of the course, over 180 videos, and it's all about energy work, energy development, activations, and going deeper to become an energy facilitator. So starting with the personal transformation, you need to unlock your true potential. So we will dive deep into understanding and improving communication, self-communication for personal growth through a structured and transformational approach. This will apply, as I said, to self-communication, how you talk to yourself, as well as being able to recognize it in how you talk to others, and how others, of course, talk to you. Just this alone can be very, very powerful. It is a holistic approach. We integrate practical techniques from cognitive behavioral therapy, neuro-linguistic programming, mindfulness, and then obviously we move on to the energy work, shadow work, somatic body work in part two of the course to address every facet of your personal development and your future clients' personal development. If you are taking this course, if you want to take this course to become an energy facilitator. Now, of course, you can take this course if it is just for your own personal benefit. Of course you can. So we use proven strategies in this first section. Surface layer mastery. Learn to control and refine your language patterns for more impactful communication. So literally, the words we use. We're going to be using authentic or authenticity, true authenticity. Embrace and express your true self, not that monkey mind voice in your head. To overcome your false personas and embrace genuine interactions. And then, of course, part two, energy awakenings, where you will advance through powerful practices, techniques, exercises to awaken and balance your inner energy, fostering profound personal and spiritual growth, whilst also learning to use this with others. This leads to real results, experiencing increased self-esteem, greater resilience, and a deeper connection to your authentic self and your energy. So let's go a little deeper here. Personal transformation, part 1 of this course. So module 1, as I said, we looked at controlling language patterns and master the effective art of communication for self and others. Module 2, we harness the power of tonality, tone, pitch, pace and volume to influence emotions and attitudes. Module 3, you will align your intentions with your personal values. We could call them goals. I'm not a big fan of using the word goal because goal is something to reach. This is a journey. And we have to accept that this is a journey of life. But it will align your intentions with the journey you wish to travel down, and enhancing your self-talk and actions and work with others. And then the rest of the modules, 4 to 14, we're going to be exploring advanced topics, including overcoming false personas, reading body language, embracing authenticity, and moving towards, yes, dare I say it, enlightenment. Of course, we go even deeper in that in part 2. Between both part 1 and part 2, we must have the most comprehensive training and understanding and comprehension to be able to really go deep within ourselves and really work with our clients. Engage in practical exercises, meditation, reflection practices. We're going to be doing all of this. And of course, all along the way, you're going to be having my expert guidance, so you can benefit from insights and techniques that I have studied of other leading experts in the personal development world and energy work. I have done many, many courses. I've been connected to energy all my life. I've took NLP courses from the original NLP people decades ago. So this is a really, really deep dive. And then of course we have community support, which is, right now it's a WhatsApp group where we can all connect, so you can meet like-minded individuals, gain encouragement and inspiration throughout your journey. There are very transformative outcomes here, not just for personal growth, but also it will equip you with advanced tools and techniques to advance your coaching and energy practices. And of course, part of this is to have a full spiritual and Kundalini awakening to enhance your connection with your inner self, universal energy, and paving the way for true enlightenment. What will you achieve doing the first part, the course, the personal transformation course, and moving on? Well, we're going to find a deep self of awareness, to be able to explore our inner selves, engaging with the world and foundational elements of self-communication, and gain a profound understanding of how your internal dialogue shapes your reality. You're going to be able to recognize and align your internal compass. You're going to have enhanced emotional and psychological resilience to all those things that hit us in the outside world, whether it be other people, television, news. And you're going to be able to master CBT, cognitive behavioral strategies, and mindfulness practices to be able to reframe these negative beliefs and foster a positive mindset. There are heart-centered practices to go deeper, like heart-centered meditation, heart-mind meditation, Ho'oponopono, are all in the course, just as small, quick exercises, not as a course. I've seen Ho'oponopono courses sold for, this is just one tiny technique that we are going to use. That is how deep we go here and how powerful this course can be. So you can embrace your self-expression, have authentic growth, overcome false personas, embrace your true self. So we will discover mental and emotional filters through which we view and interpret our experience and control it. We are shaped by past experiences, beliefs, emotions, and conditioning. We are affected by this, and it changes the perception of our reality, and it influences our thoughts and creates influencing thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And this, coupled with a dualistic good, bad, right, wrong, yes, no, hot, cold, black, white, and blocks us from our true inner self. And those things create false persona, which leads to emotional disconnect, strained relationships, personal growth stagnation, self-perception distortion. So your self-awareness becomes distorted, you lack authenticity, and you form these negative beliefs. And these things that we're going to learn are going to help change this. And false persona and self-perception changes to social conditioning, which leads to a lack of personal growth and a lack of gratitude for what you have now. And that's when life just becomes dull, monotonous, boring, depressive. That might ring a bell for a few of you. So by integrating all these steps, you can work towards overcoming your filtered lenses and a false persona, which is part of dualism. You can foster a more genuine and fulfilling life for you, for those around you, and for those you coach. Understanding and addressing filtered lenses allows breaking free from constraints of a false persona, leading to more authentic and fulfilling communication. So here I just want to tell you a story. It's called The Parable of the Blind Men and the Tower. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a grand tower that reached high into the sky. Many people in the village were curious about the tower, and they wanted to understand its true nature. However, only a few blind men were brave enough to go near it. Each blind man, because it was a big tower, decided to explore a different part of it. The first man reached the tower and touched its base and said, "It's solid and sturdy. It must be a rock or a cliff of some kind." The second blind man climbed up a bit and felt the walls and said, "No, no, 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 no. It's smooth and it's cold. It must be a marble quarry." The third blind man reached even higher and found the windows and said, "No, you're both wrong. It's full of openings and gaps. It must be some sort of cave system." The fourth blind man climbed even higher and touched the roof of the tower. "None of you correct. It's flat and wide. It's a plateau." And so they began to argue, each insisting that their own perspective was the correct one. A wise man, who had been observing the exploration, approached them and said, "You are only seeing or feeling parts of the whole. This is a tower. It has all the features you've described. But to understand the true nature of the tower, you must combine your experiences and see it as a whole. And yes, if we only study one method, one system, one mine is the right way, with all its refinements and its loss of knowledge and wisdom over the years, guess what you're going to become? One of those blind men. Because the mine is better than yours and is the only right way to do things. Over the ages, you'll only find a part. And this we were warned about that would happen thousands of years ago. It's written in ancient Egyptian texts that this was going to happen and things would disappear and things would be spread around the world and you would have to study all of them to be able to see the whole. And so this is what I've been doing for well over 20 years. It's researching and investigating different cultures around the world. And we will see, just talking about energy, and if we talk about energy as being given a human character because we know humans like to humanize things. We give our cars names, our dogs, many people treat them as though they're people. And people who don't have dogs expect other people's dogs to act as people rather than dogs. And they don't learn how dogs and other animals communicate. And so they're walking along a path with their chest puffed out, and someone's walking with their dog the other way, and then they wonder why the dog gets aggressive and attacks them. Because they're walking in a straight line straight towards the dog and its owner with their chest puffed out, rather than, as in animal nature, when you approach an animal, you take a nice, gentle, curved path around them. That is how things are done. But they expect these dogs to be human because humans humanize everything, just as energy has been humanized. And so every culture has this humanistic system. In Hinduism, in yoga, in Tantra, Shakti and Shiva. In Egypt, Osiris and Iris. And Osiris and Iris, well, maybe not Osiris, it depends on how you tell the story, had a child, Horus, who had a half-brother, Anubis. Shakti's son was Ganesh, whose half-brother was, well, yeah, you can read it there, Kartikeya. Ganesh was made from clay. Horus, well, was created from a dead father. We have Odin and Fjorgyn. Their son was Thor. Maybe not a virgin mother, but, was there. And had an adopted brother, Loki. Joseph and Mary the same as Isis and Shakti, had this son called Jesus. Now, he didn't have an adopted brother, but he did happen to have a cousin, John. We could also liken these two as Adam and Lilith. Everyone remembers Adam and Eve, but they don't remember Adam and Lilith. Lilith was the original female. But then Adam didn't like Lilith, got rid of her, and then so God made this clone of Adam, which was Eve, literally pulled it out of a rib, didn't he? And they had Cain and Abel. Anu and Namu had Enki, who had a half-brother, Enlil. This story goes on and on and on. We will get to who Shakti and Shiva are in a bit. But if we want to take this humanized story even further, we have the god and the goddess, and then they have the sun. They all have the sun. So let's just analyze this, take one example of this that isn't human. Winter solstice, 21st, 22nd of December, which is where the sun dies or disappears or stays still for 3 to 5 days. And then after the 3 to 5 days, a new sun is born around the 25th of December, right? Mother, father, son. Energy, consciousness, a new beginning. That reminds me of something, doesn't it? Especially 25th of December, sun, newborn. Happens in many cultures. So you can already see relation through different histories, through different cultures, right? So what are we talking about with none of this humanized stuff right now? When talking about energy, we have prana, we have chi, we have sacred sexual tantric energy, which is also known as Jing, the creative energy. These two energies are the principal and primal energies used to activate Kundalini energy, and are also known as Kundalini activation. So most courses and trainings stop here. Now, despite what they may tell you, they are Kundalini activation energy. Yeah, they are Kundalini activation energy. They are mixing prana and sacred sexual energy. They are mixing chi and jing to awaken Kundalini energy, possibly. And these courses stop there. Why? Because they lack the knowledge of this, or because of their own fears of what can happen and programming and such. So chi and jing, or prana and tantric energy, are used to awaken the Kundalini energy, which is not the life force energy. It is a cosmic energy that comes from awakening the Kundalini. This can come through prana and tantric energy, or it can come through Shakitpat. Two ways to do this. And then we have a fourth level of energy, which is the light body energy, which is a sixth dimensional energy used to access even higher levels than Kundalini. So prana or chi moves through the nadis or the meridian channels. As prana moves through these channels and opens them up, it creates flow. It creates clearing. Flow, clearing, movement, crying, orgasms, bodies moving over the place. If you've seen any demo videos, that sounds like prana to me, doesn't it? It can also be the sacred sexual energy. So prana and tantric sacred sexual energy, or Jing energies, are the energies that are used to do the clearing, the releasing of emotions, the energy blocks, and creating flow that produces the movement within these wild demo videos that we've all seen. We all have a natural, easy access to these energies. Tantra can also flow through the nadis, but it flows through the main nadis, not the minor nadis like the prana. Prana flows through the entire body, every channel. Tantra flows through the front channel and the back channel. And it also connects to the reproductive organs and the heart. And it can flow up to the head. And here, this is why it gets really confused a lot with Kundalini energy, because the Kundalini energy flows up the back channel, not the front channel, the back channel. So Tantra can flow up both. Kundalini can flow up the back. And they are different. One is a sexual energy. One is a creative energy. That is Tantra. And then there is the cosmic energy of the Kundalini. So sacred sexual energy is the half-brother of the Kundalini energy, being able to take the two paths. So we could say prana that create Kundalini and its half-brother, Tantra. And then, of course, when we fully embody this, we get the light body energy, but that is not an energy that travels within the physical body. That is outside the body. That is growing further. So I mentioned Kundalini is not life force energy. It's not life force energy. That is prana. That is chi. Perhaps you've heard of Reiki or Reichi. Rei, universal. Chi, life force. Universal life force. Vital life force. Reiki. Don't be fooled by marketing. Prana comes from breathing, food. It can come through the skin when you learn how to do it. It is transmitted by all living things, plants, animals, fungi. It is the life force. You can also find it in places, the ocean, the mountain ranges, volcanoes. I already mentioned universal life force, Reiki. So is this Kundalini energy Reiki? Is Kundalini activation energy Reiki? The activation, we've already seen, it is prana mixed with Tantra. Both of them can awaken your Kundalini. Yes. Unless you are dealing with someone who's already had a Kundalini awakening, and then they can use that energy via Shakitpat. That is the goal here. However, the energy that can activate the Kundalini is not Kundalini energy. I just said this, right? Unless it is Shakitpat. So you can see how clever marketing and wording can become misconfusing, right? And this is why many people say Kundalini activation energy is Kundalini energy. No, Kundalini activation energy is prana and tantra. And then there is Shakitpat. So what is this sacred sexual energy, this Jing, this creation energy? Well, it comes from two things. It comes from prana in our sexual organs, from those cells, but it also comes from our reproductive cells, our ovary and sperm. So those over your lifetime will diminish, but you can hold it up using the prana and turning it into jing. And of course, by becoming aroused, this energy increases within our body. And this is why people think it is sexual energy, as in intercourse. It's not. It's sexual energy coming from reproduction and creation. And this energy, although generated by arousal, can be transmitted on a very subtle level by the sexual organs of other living things. Flowers. All of a sudden, flowers. What are flowers? Flowers are the sexual organs of plants. So when you give someone flowers, you are literally giving them sexual organs. But they hold a tiny amount of this tantric energy. And we can learn that this arousal energy can be anchored. We can literally anchor it into music, into song, into lighting, into creating spaces. It can even be, hell, have you heard of this stuff called perfume? You smell a certain perfume, and it's not necessarily because it has certain chemicals in it that, it can just be an anchor of a past experience of someone that you thought was attractive, wore this perfume, so you smell it again, and it starts arousing you. That's an anchor. And these anchors can then be stimulated, and they are used in cultural programming all the time. We'll get to that later. Arousal can be generated, though, at will, and by using forms of pranayama and breathwork. Thus, we can learn to build this tantric energy at will. It can, of course, both prana and chi, be heightened. Like I said, mountain ranges, oceans, volcanoes, special ley lines due to the increased prana and electromagnetic currents of the world. These ley lines are the feng shui dragons. And they do something to us, they affect us. Just as the moon in its cycles also affects us. Yes, the moon is 28 days. A female reproductive cycle is 28 days. But also the male cycle is 28 days. So many animals, plants on our planet, their reproductive cycles are controlled by the moon. So Kundalini activation energy can be activated through Prana and Tantra. You do not need someone giving you Shakitpat. You do not need to go and receive a Kundalini activation session to build these things. You will learn in the course how to do this for yourself, and then you will also learn how to use it for others. And then we have to go on to Kundalini. But hang on a sec, is Kundalini real? Are these videos, are these demos, what is going on? Is these demo videos, are they real? Well, Kundalini is real enough that the CIA decided to study it in 1983 as part of the Gateway process. Lucky enough for us, they weren't able to find the truth about it. They established there was something there, but it wasn't as interesting to them. It wasn't as psychological as the Gateway project. So they left it alone. Kundalini energy, we have said, is not vital life force energy. It's not universal life force energy. So anyone telling you it is, they don't know what they're talking about, because life force energy is chi, it is prana. Kundalini energy is a cosmic energy. To get to that cosmic energy level, we need to learn about life force energy. It's what we have been doing. And we need to learn about sacred sexual energy. It's what we've been doing. But then we also need to learn, and you will as part of the course, internal alchemy. Because a lot of people, facilitators, they have learnt this on-off switch to turn on their mixed prana and tantra energy, and then they have an off switch. They actually have no control over how much they send. They can't bring it down, they can't push it up. It's just, they're literally an on-off switch. And through internal alchemy, you will learn to control these levels of energy. So if there's a client that is too energetic, you can bring them down. And if someone needs more, you can give them more. And by combining internal alchemy, Qi, Tantra, we will then have initiation sessions to activate your Kundalini energy and be able to control it. Once we have controlled in around week 38 of the course, because it is a 52-week course, we will then also gain access to our light body. Kundalini, you know it as a coiled serpent, right? Well, it's not a coiled serpent. It's coiled like a serpent. However, Kundal means fireball, and Ini means female. So Kundalini, it's a coiled serpent, is it? Or is it the feminine energy that rises from the fireball? Shakti rising from the fire of the root chakra. As energy points open, they all generally become hot, whether it's your hands, your feet, anyone who's done Tai Chi, Qigong, and had an energy point, awaken and activate, it becomes hot. However, the root, this, because it is a big chakra, it's a powerful chakra, it gets very, very hot. And it's been given the name Kundal, fireball. And it will lead to not just a little bit of heat in your hand, it can lead to profuse sweating, your body temperature changes. Yeah, you've seen monks drying towels on their backs, right? That is the energy it can produce. And then once that fire is awakened, the energy can rise up the spine. That is Kundalini, fireball, feminine energy rising Shakti to meet Shiva consciousness. So the Kundalini is the fireball where the energy arises. This is why the first chakra commonly feels hot, and as I said, you can break out in sweats, just as the others, just way more. The Shakti then travels, or the energy, let's start calling it, travels up the spine where it meets the head, Shiva, or consciousness. And I'll say why, let's start changing the words now in a minute. Then the meeting of these two, of Shiva and Shakti, creates the God state, the bliss state that all gurus and enlightenment teachers talk about. Enlightenment. Because you do feel lighter in weight, and you do feel lighter as illuminated in this state. Enlightenment, it's something beyond, we can't feel, we can't touch. Yes, let's make sure everything's impossible, so no matter how hard you try, you won't ever get there. Yeah, let's be yogis. No, let's be tantrikas. Kundalini is a cosmic energy that flows from the root to the pineal and out the top of the head, but it also flows down from the root into the ground and out the other side into the universe. It can be awakened by prana and sacred sexual energy. And until you have a constant Kundalini energy, you can consistently awaken it through prana and sacred sexual energy until it flows freely by itself. Again, what many facilitators do. Because once it's fully connected, it's fully connected. It's always flowing. You don't need to turn yourself on like a light switch. It connects us to source in a constant way, rather than the prana flowing with the breath in and out, up and down, being channeled. And of course, we can anchor these states to maintain the connection more easily. And of course, it is the path to the cities. So Shakti energy is female, right? I said, let's forget the names Shakti and Shiva. Well, let's have a look at this. Because they humanized it, Shakti's female. Feminine doesn't mean female or anything related to our dualistic programming, as many, many teachers will tell you. So when they say the feminine energy is nurturing, this is just coming from cultural programming, just as the male is the provider or the protector. Just wrong. That is programming, false programming, because it is the mother who is the greatest protector of them all. It is the lioness who makes the kill in the hunt, not the lion. So you must detach yourself from dualistic cultural programming of yin and yang, feminine and masculine energies. It's just false programming, 2,000 years of cultural mixing, Forget it. We need to let go of dualism to actually get where we need to go. Feminine means Shakti. Shakti means energy. Energy is electromagnetical, right? Some say feminine energy is electric and masculine energy is magnetic. Yet for the modern mind, what? That doesn't make sense. Female becomes male? What? Hey, hang on a sec. As energy is female, but there can also be male or female energy. But masculine means Shiva. Shiva means consciousness. Forget dualism. Consciousness. Energy. Energy. Electrical energy, magnetic energy, which are combined. So we have the mother, the father, the son, the stepson, or the half brother, or the cousin, or the combined again. Yeah. But masculine to feminine, feminine goes to feminine and masculine. What? That gets weird. We have consciousness, we have energy, we have electric energy, we have magnetic energy. Our culture can understand those very simply. But masculine goes to feminine, feminine goes to masculine, and feminine again. Very confusing dualism is. Light body, we mentioned this. An energy that is held within our energy field rather than our physical body, yet it can also connect to our nadis in a very strange way. This we will see how it connects in the course, because it is a higher level of energy that connects to us, like a mycelial network of the universe, in a very clear way, once we can comprehend it. We could say it's a higher dimensional energy or higher harmonics, equivalent to that of sound becoming light, rather than harmonics as octaves. It's a very gentle energy, yet very powerful energy, and it can also awaken the siddhis. And it is the energy responsible for those famous information downloads, because the light body is connected to the subtle energies. The subtle energy bodies get very confusing. There can be 3 of them, there can be 12 of them, everybody's different. You can see here etheric, emotional, astral, mental, causal, spiritual, Buddhic, atmic, pranic, etheric, celestial, catheric. Some systems have some of them, other systems have all of them, they hold different names. They all combine together to form the light body. This is great, but who are you? You've told me this stuff. If you're still watching this, congratulations. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born awake, I was born an empath, and not a social media empath, a true empath. I've always had strange things happen to me. And I'll tell you a little bit about the first one I had. I was only 8. I was going on holiday from the UK to France, and we got on a ferry. I got out of the car and I said to my mum, I need to see the doors close. Why? I don't know. I just had to see the doors closed. And my mum was like, no, we've got to go up. You're not allowed to stay down here. And I'm like, I want to see the doors closed, or I'm getting back in the car and I'm locking myself in the car for the entire journey. Mum was like, oh God, let's go and see if we can ask. Luckily in those days, you know, people were nice to each other. There was a sense of community. There was a sense of everybody helps each other. So she asked the guys if I could watch it. Of course, they loved the idea. And of course, they allowed me to watch these big doors close. And so they showed me how the panel worked, and we got to see how the doors closed of this ferry. And then everything was great. And we went up and we went on our way on our holiday. The strange thing is, 7 days later, exactly 7 days later, there was a ferry disaster. You can look it up, Google it. Townsend Torresen ferry disaster, Zeebrugge ferry disaster. If you look it up, you will see that it sank because the doors didn't close properly. I was 8, and this was already happening to me. And that was the first big one. I'd had other things before that, but that was the first thing. I've had these things happen all my life. And yes, I am both dyslexic and ADD, and I have found there is a close relationship to dyslexia, ADD, ADHD, and energy. One of my first major breakthroughs energetically, which really put me on my path, was in 1997 in the Monte Cervino. You can see a picture of it here, the Matterhorn between Italy and Switzerland. It literally broke me out of a 4-year depression. Boom, like that. Almost like the opposite of Dark Night of the Soul. It broke me out of it. And from that moment on, I have been reading, practicing, studying, searching for answers, testing out techniques, seeking gurus, healers, energy workers, reading ancient texts, reading schools, philosophies, discovering many fake gurus, people working dangerously with energies and stuff, as well as some absolutely amazing people who have really helped me move further. And slowly by slowly, I have been piecing this information together, separated my way's better, taking their way, combining it with another way, seeing the path through. I said I'm dyslexic, I'm ADD. It's what our brains do. We don't work systematically, A, B, C, D. We don't work linearly. We work alinearly, abstractly, which gave me the ability to be able to combine these things, separating the wheat from the chaff. What? Chakras? You've just been talking about yourself. Yeah. Welcome to the chakras. Let's just... I'm not going to tell you exactly what the chakras are. If you're watching this video and you're still here, congratulations, by the way, it's a long one. You know what the chakras are, they're written down. But let's just talk about wheat from chaff. The chakras now, today, have a solfeggio frequency, each one of them, but hang on, how many chakras are there? There's 7, but there are only 6 solfeggios. They had to make another one up to make it fit. Oh, the chakras are the colors of the rainbow. Are they really? Let's have a little look here on the right-hand side. Each chakra represents an energetic, emotional level. And it also has a rainbow color, which was popularized and developed in the, 1970s? Making it a standard? In the 16th century, there was a text that describes the chakras with various colors, but they weren't the rainbow ones. Solfeggio frequencies? 1970s again? Yeah, look at these guys. They had to create a 7th one to make it fit. Yeah. Okay. There are 7 chakras, right? But what about the Bidya chakra? 8. Oh, well, that throws everything out the window. Wheat from the chaff, right? The colors help explain, help you remember how many there are, the basic ones, the standard ones. It does not mean each one magically matches with the reverse colors of the rainbow. I mentioned internal alchemy. This is important. Our energy, you've heard about chakras, but lower than chakras, we have the dantians. They are sort of denser energy channels. And these dantians, 3 of them, you've got the perineum, you've got the heart, and you've got the head. You've got the chi, which is transformed to the shen energy and the wei energy. These 3 together connect the microcosmic orbit, the back channel and the front channel in a system flowing together. The small heavenly cycle, which is fundamental in the Taoist internal alchemy, Neigong, as well as Qigong and Chinese medicine. And these have the governing vessel, the conception vessel. Shushumna, front channel, yeah, starting to see a relationship here. I did say I wasn't lineal. Keep following me. I ain't lineal. The course is lineal, but just the explanation. So let's have a look at some examples of cultures with energy traditions. We have the Tantra from Buddhism and Hinduism, yeah, even that, what's that? It's a mixture of lots of different religions. We have Taoism that actually comes from shamanism, that moved from Siberia to China. We've got Kabbalah, which is said to originally actually come from Egypt, which then comes from Kem and Heka in Egypt. We have Yoruba, of course. Kabbalah is now from the Judaic traditions, so they say, which obviously the Judaic traditions came out of Egypt many thousands of years ago. Possibly they went in, but did they learn it whilst they were in Egypt or before that? All very interesting things. Yoruba in Africa, Olmec in America, Druidism, which is also said to have come from Egypt. It moved up through Portugal with the Gauls. That's why you get bagpipes in Spain. Galicia, moving through the Basque Country, all the way up through the UK, into Ireland, Scotland, and then of course you have the Norse energy traditions. There are many. And these energy traditions and all these things, consciousness that the gurus talk about, are to realize enlightenment, reach this bliss state. Samadhi, nirvana, moksha, anda, gnosis, satori, fana, turiya, wu wei, enlightenment, bliss, devakut, kevala jhana. It's all around the world. Don't think for a second this is something Hindu, just because we use the Hindu names right now. Life force, prana, chi, or, ashe, Holy Spirit, mana, ruach, renda, sekhem, baraka, wakan, numa, nufrei. This is not Hindu, this is not yogic, this is not just Tantra, this is everywhere. If we want to go away from the energy traditions, we can explain these things as we have in the West, using brainwaves, using the Hawkins scale, through emotions. You've seen these things hopefully already, you know what we're talking about. Yeah. But let's not, unfortunately, in the West, overcomplicate and over-intellectualize these things. Let's not debate them and procrastinate. Let's do this on this course. Let's go there. Let's not use jargon. Let's not need a PhD in yoga to get there. Still not done yet. Prana flows through the nadis, including Ida, Pingala, Shushumna, or Javura, Chesed, Kabbalah. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I'm bringing it in here to show it's multicultural. These things, it could be Ida and Pingala, the parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, and Shushumna is the central nervous system, or they are equivalents attached. We're not procrastinating, we're not going further. Tantra energy can flow through the major nadis, the Ida, the Pingala, the Shushumna, or is it the Dumai, the Renmai, and the microcosmic orbit? Interesting. Which ones are we? We're getting complicated here. It's starting to not make sense. We'll clear this up in the course, don't worry about it. Kundalini travels through the Shushumna, which is the Dumai, which is the central column. What? Yeah, that's in the energy course. We'll get there, don't worry about it. I just want to show these things to you. Light body flows in the subtle energies. I know, I understand this is starting to get a little bit complex now. We've been going for nearly an hour now. I'm trying to get through this just to show you this is intercultural. So how do we activate these energies? Well, we have spontaneous awakenings. This can happen in near-death experiences. It can happen through drugs, plant medicines, midlife crises. It's debatable. Can it happen through yogic and tantric practices of pranayama, mantras like transcendental meditation, or truly and fearlessly embracing non-dualism? It can. Through Kundalini activation, Prana, Chi, Tantra, or through Shakitpat. Shakitpat can be given in three ways: by someone who was born awake, by someone who has awakened through an energy transmission, or who had a spontaneous awakening back to the top themselves. We haven't got to the fears and the dangers of this yet. We'll get there. Spontaneous awakenings are the most dangerous because we don't know anything about them, we don't control them, it's just woohoo, let's go for the ride and hold on for dear life. Then we can combine Chi and Prana, Kundalini activation, or Shakitpat. And these two are the lowest risk as long as you find someone that isn't high with spiritual ego. And they are the fastest ones to awaken your Kundalini, the safest and the fastest. As long as you've done your homework and you use someone who knows what they're doing and you know they know what they're doing. Energy. Some people are born awake, like Not necessarily, maybe they're not born awake, but they are more attuned to the energy and naturally powerful to this energy. Highly sensitive people. True empaths. Not your social media empath, which is really a sympath. ADDers, ADHDers, dyslexics. And of course, people who have psychic abilities. Some of the cities already given to them from birth. They will be able to connect to these energies way more quickly, way more powerfully. We're getting there, guys. Well done for being here. In this course, we will also not just be looking at the energies, we'll not just be looking at self-development, we're going to be looking at somatic body work, emotional release therapy, shadow work, even past the personal development work. We're going to go further, we're going to do shadow work to continue to balance and integrate our egos. These methods of balance and release prepare us to have the safest and most subtle awakening as possible, not the wild ride that those who have a simultaneous awakening have to go on. And of course, awakenings can be created without energy work. I've said this. You can do it by building your prana, your tantra for many years. You could also do it with plant medicines, meditation. Through years and years of dedication, you can do it for yourself. You do not need to take this course if you don't want to. But if you want to do it in a year, what are the benefits? Why do this? Increased vitality, increased energy, improved health, improved healing, enhanced sensory perception, emotional healing and release, increased emotional resilience, enhanced mental clarity and focus, expanded consciousness and awareness, spiritual awakening and growth and connection to your higher self. Enhanced creativity and inspiration, heightened intuition and innovation. If those aren't reasons enough, it goes way beyond that. But if those aren't reasons enough to start doing this stuff, you're in the wrong place. If you've read, if you've watched this till now, congratulations. These are the benefits, right? You can read this. You can go back, read this. Because we need to get to the important stuff. Cautions and safety about Kundalini. Do not force people's energy to get them to move like in the demos for your own energy. Screaming and shouting, it is totally unnecessary and can be avoided. Like the shocking demos and orgasmic videos. You don't need to force people into, some movement can be good, but not asymmetrical movements or subconscious coverings of the area. So if you have a client that puts their hand over the heart, don't move it out the way. Because if you do these things, you're going to end up pushing your clients into a dark night of the soul and possibly to low risk through activations, but possibly even Kundalini syndrome. Most of all, this is not an experience, a fad, a roller coaster. This is an important process. Congratulations on getting this far. Seriously, it's a long one, but we're in the home stretch now. So, is this course for you? Well, if you're here, it most likely is. But let's just run through a couple of things for those who are still on the fence. So, if you are looking to grow and develop yourself, personally and spiritually, if you know you have just all these unanswered questions in life, if you feel at the back of your mind there's just something missing, perhaps you are looking to become an energy facilitator to help others. Or you're already a Reiki practitioner or master, or some other type of energy facilitator, Kundalini activation, and wish to go deeper. Perhaps you've done a short Kundalini activation course, but yet you know nothing really yet. If you have absolutely no experience whatsoever, but you've lasted this long, and you wish to help yourself and others, if you're called to learn about the energies, If you wish to learn from the comfort of your own home without having to travel, the stress, the extra cost, without losing any extra time, if you wish to learn things that are strictly on point and without any fluff, perhaps you're even another type of therapist, psychologist, medical doctor, looking for deeper, alternative answers. What is the process of awakening the Kundalini? Well, first of all, we have the famous physical sensations and the movements and the of the demos. And then we have energetic sensations, pulsing, vibrating, all these things, heat, cold. We have the mental processes and the emotional processes, the laughing, the crying, the shouting. We have the battle of the ego. That has to be worked on. It has to be let go. It's not just about receiving energy sessions and nothing else. You need someone to be teaching you about letting go of the ego, your shadows. That's why we have the personal development course, so you can help your clients and coach them through the processes. We then can connect our pineal, start having the visions, the journeys, the DNT visions, the shamanic journeys. By breaking down your programming, dephasing dualism, you can go even further. By assimilating, embracing, embodying the energy fully, and the full disconnection of past learning can lead to a total embodiment of the energies, leading us to Shiva, leading us to consciousness, to enlightenment. The energy levels within this course: Pranapat, touch of prana, tantric sexual energy. Those combined, Kundalini activation. We awaken your Kundalini. You can then get to Shakitpat, a touch of energy. And then we move to the light body. Of course, this is not the only way to get there. You can be very lucky and it can happen yourself and everything's spontaneous, brilliant. Or you can take path of courses. So you can do Pranapat level 1, you can do non-dual Pranapat, you can do Shaktipat, you can do somatic body work, you can do a higher level of somatic body work, so one on yourself and then learning to do it on others. You can do an internal alchemy course or 2. You can then do Tantric level 1 energy. You can do for yourself Tantric level 2 energy for others. You can do a shadow work level 1 working on yourself and a shadow work level 2 working on others. And then you can do a personal development course. Yes. And this, obviously, all these courses, if you go to retreat courses with their extra travel costs, their stress, the waiting time to do it, which could be months between session and session. Some courses, you have to have 6 months between one and the other before they allow you to do it. And this can set you back. Even if you do combined courses, we're talking a good 9,000 euros, $10,000. It could even be, if they're separate courses, 13,000 euros, $14,000 and up. And they're for the cheap courses. Or you can get all of that in the Integral Energy Program. My program, it's a 52-week program. This includes, as I said, personal development course, over 180 videos, bi-weekly energy sessions, Q&A sessions, a live with me intensive week once you've got to a certain level to be able to really push and initiate and go so much further, much faster. with all the preparation work you will have done. You'll of course have access to the community. And if you wish, there is the optional extra of doing it privately with me, if you want, or just getting the extra odd private coaching session with me. So path 1, 9, 10 grand, mine, what's the price? Look below the video. You might like the surprise. This program will certify you to be an energy facilitator and coach for group sessions and private sessions, both online and in person. Not just in one thing, not just in Kundalini, but in Kundalini, in Prana, in Tantra, in Light Body, in personal development. This way you will have many tools to be able to help your clients on their journeys to keep things fresh. Because let's face it, people like new and shiny, but if you do something that is the same, of the same, of the same, of the same, people are going to get bored. So you have to have a toolbox to be able to help your clients. And it's not chop and change between one day yoga, another day Kundalini activation, another day breathwork. No, we need an all-inclusive package to keep them progressing through their awakening processes, giving you the tools to help them move more deeply, faster, and further. So this is a 52-week self-study course with access to the community, bi-weekly Q&A sessions and activation sessions with me personally, and a 1-week intensive, which comes around week 38 of the course. Of course, if you have previous experience, you might move through this course faster, and so we can shift that intensive to earlier. This concludes with an exam, week 52, to check your level, which you'll get certification of one level or another level, depending on how far you've gone. And of course, if you want to go the 52 weeks, you can. You will have lifetime access to the course. However, there is a limit of 52 weeks to be able to take the examination and get certification. If you go beyond that, then there will be a surcharge to be able to sit the certification. This course, Personal Transformation, over 180 videos, sections with theory and practical exercises, the initiation week, 21-day self-initiation period after the week with me, the community area, Q&A, group activations, and the final exam. We will be changing how you perceive yourself and the world, not just through energy, but also after the personal development, through the shadow work. We will learn how to integrate the hidden aspects of ourselves, working with our shadows after that personal development can quickly help us develop a deep sense of non-duality. This is one of the things, just one of the many things that you will find unique to this course. But wait, I'm looking at your webpage. I've watched your videos on YouTube. I've seen your webpage, but there are no testimonials to sell me your program. Why? Well, we focus on substance, and I hope this has given you enough substance, not stories. Because real transformation comes from within. And just because there is a video that said, oh, this was wonderful for me, doesn't necessarily mean it'll be wonderful for you. We go beyond surface level success. Depth over stories. Focus on proven methods and techniques because substance matters. Empower yourself with knowledge through direct experience and authenticity. The true measure of success is your own experience, not someone else's, if even real, and commitment to authentic growth. If you're ready to change your life, sign up below this video on my webpage. Remember, if you take path 1, it's going to be 9 to 18,000 quite easily. So just check out the price of this course. But if you still need more information, you've got a whole webpage to look through. You've got my YouTube channel, loads of videos on there. The Awaken Energy by Skeed, or at The Awakening Energy. You can even, if you still wish to talk to me personally, you can book below this video on my webpage. You can book a free 30-minute one-on-one Q&A session so I can answer any questions and doubts you've got. Just look for the link below this video. And so you know, this course, For Your Security, is hosted on a reliable and well-known teaching platform to give you the peace of mind about any payments and your data security. Enroll now, and I'll see you on the other side.